Okay, and we are live. ¿Qué tal, amigos? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with this evening's live stream. It is 7:35 p.m. It is the 18th of April. And we're going to have a look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the press today, as we always do, and also some comments that have been left on the channel in recent times. We'll take a look at some of those as well. In the second half of today's live stream, we'll go into the chat section here, which I have to my right, and we'll look at what's going on in the chat section. So if you're watching this evening, say hello in the chat section. Now, straight into the news, and seasonal rents have soared in Spain 56%, and permanent rents have fallen by 15% in the first year of the new housing law. Whether in search of greater profitability or to avoid the limitations and obligations imposed by the Housing Act, landlords have found in seasonal rentals an alternative to traditional permanent leases, which they are increasingly turning to. The balance of supply has become unbalanced over the last year in favour of seasonal rentals, whose supply grew by 56% in the first quarter of 2024, compared to a 15% decline in long-term rentals. As a result, 1 out of every 10 properties in the showcase is now rented on a monthly basis, 11%, compared to 7% a year ago. The trend is generalized throughout the country, although it is more acute in the areas and cities with the most strained prices. In these areas, the percentage of seasonal rentals out of the total is higher, and the increase in stock is also higher, according to the analysis of the real estate portal Idealista. So there we go, seasonal rents soaring by 56% and permanent rents falling by 15% as landlords look to get around the new Housing Act, which basically gives more rights to tenants and less rights, I should say, to landlords. And that's the issue. Whereas if you have your home rented on a monthly basis, yes, there's going to be a lot more logistical work involved. You're going to have to get a cleaner in probably to clean it up more often. You're going to have to do more maintenance, but landlords apparently thinking this is the better option, and this maybe is the reason why we are getting a housing crisis or housing crises in different parts of the country. So interesting, that article. But we'll let the data, as they say, speak for itself. The second piece of news here, and Prime Minister Sanchez is calling for a new European funding plan for defence, climate and digital change. The president of the Spanish government, Pedro Sanchez, on Wednesday advocated the creation of a new line of European funds similar to the Next Generation funds, which would allow the European Union to respond to the policies that are necessary in the areas of defence, climate and digital transformation. In the words of the socialist leader, these would be the new Next Generation funds that would allow us to respond to the construction of European public goods and climate policy is one of them. Digital transformation is another, and without a doubt everything related to defence as well, he stressed. Sanchez expressed his support for these funds in statements made on his arrival at the extraordinary meeting of the European Council being held in Brussels. So there we go, Mr. Sanchez asking for more European money, more European moolah to put those policies into effect related to climate change. What else did he say there? Defense, of course, and digital transformation, which has been big on the Spanish government's agenda over the last 18 months or so. They've already put millions of euros into digital transformation, trying to transform companies to operate digitally in this country, and basically also I think also the government as well, but basically just getting people into the digital world that were perhaps stuck in the analog world, let's say. So Mr. Sanchez, as I said, asking for more cash, more dosh from the European Union. And the final piece of news here, serious accusations from the English media about the water problem in Spain. Third worlders, they are quoted as saying. Spain is dying of thirst. You can see it in the overexploited aquifers in the rivers that are no longer flowing and the cracked bottoms of the reservoirs. With summer approaching, the increasingly clear skies are not likely to surprise us. In fact, Precipitation is decreasing year after year. Although there are substantial differences between regions, this critical situation is the result of a perfect storm combining drought and scarcity. The first is due to environmental causes, and there is little that can be done to avoid it in a peninsula particularly hard hit by climate change. The second factor is even more complex and involves aspects related to storage, management, demand, and the uses to which this precious liquid is put. This is where the focus should be placed, according to the British press, which lambasts Spain for the water restrictions that have a negative impact on the tourist experience. So there we go. The Spanish press has caught on to an article that was published in the Mirror newspaper in the UK, in which they, according to the Spanish press, called Spain third world. But I read the article, and all they did was quote people that claimed that Spain was that category of a country. It wasn't the actual newspaper calling Spain that, as far as I believe from the article. It was quoting people that were staying at a resort in the south of Spain that is subject to water restrictions, water cutoffs, if you like, between certain hours of the night. I think 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., but don't quote me on those times. And of course, people that have paid a lot of money to stay in this resort complaining that they couldn't have a shower when they wanted to have a shower, they couldn't turn the tap on when they wanted to turn the tap on, and they were labelling Spain in that way. I don't think it was the British press. They were just quoting people in the article. But the Spanish press not seeing it that way. And as we can see here, criticising Spain for the water restrictions were the people, and also the article apparently. But again, from what I read in that article, it was just people being quoted that had a bad holiday experience and were angry, were irate, and labelled Spain in that way. So I don't know whether it was the press, but if I'm wrong, please correct me. Now into the comments. Let's have a look at this one from Stu. Rentals are an issue everywhere that is popular for tourists. The West Country is the same, with locals priced out of the property market but wanting the benefits brought by tourists. Yeah, I am aware that rental accommodation is an issue in many places around the world. I know that it's an issue in Australia, not for tourist reasons, but for population reasons. The population is increasing, therefore property is decreasing, or available property, and the same is happening here. But maybe there are different factors to the Australian ones, but maybe more similar to what's happening there in the West Country, that Stu points out here, whereas locals being priced out but wanting the benefits brought by tourists. And I think that's what's happening in some parts of Spain. We've seen it, or people complaining, at least in the Canary Islands. I think the hunger strike down there, don't know if it's underway or not, but some people were threatening to go on a hunger strike in order to get their message across to the government or the powers that be. Maybe different factors to some countries, but maybe similar to some countries also, other factors creating the rental crisis and also the housing crisis, let's be honest. Another one here from Shiny Things. Kind of silly to crack down on someone renting out a tent in a rooftop garden. That's not doing anything to hurt the housing market, but it probably annoyed the heck out of her neighbour. Yeah, Shiny. I think the problem here was that the person in question that was renting out, I think it was a woman who was renting out the top of her apartment building. She probably was the only person that had access to it, whether it was some type of these, what they call here the attico, with a big terraced area, not sure. But she had 7 tents set up outdoors, and also a portable toilet I think she had set up as well. And of course it annoyed the neighbours, you're right. But it's also taking the P155, let's be honest. I mean, you're looking at a situation, there's a rental crisis here, what available space have I got? Well, there's a space just outside my laundry where I could probably set up a tent or two. Why not? Everyone else is getting in on it. I should get in on the act too. So taking the P155 most likely, but did annoy the neighbours, and the police cracked down on this person fairly quickly. But who knows what else is going on in these places where people just can't find decent rental accommodation. No idea. One here from Michael. I'm not British, but I'm an English-speaking person from the Republic of Ireland. Having lived in Spain for 4 years, I was made to feel very welcome. The Spanish are very friendly, and like you, Stu, I would advise the English to ignore the British press. Keep up the good work, Stu. Yeah, I would advise people to ignore the British press as well. Certain British press. Not all of it, of course. But there is definitely an anti-Spain campaign on at the moment, and from what we've seen today in the news, there might be an anti-British campaign soon in the Spanish press if things keep going in this direction. So, yeah, and I agree with what Michael said. Obviously, I find people here in general friendly. Of course, you come across the odd Mick-Mock every now and again who wants to make your life a little bit more difficult than it should be, but in general, people are friendly, and they let you go about your day-to-day. So not sure what the person who said that he was being abused was going on about, because I haven't suffered any of that abuse. But then again, I don't know what type of abuse the person was talking about, whether it was verbal or physical. Haven't seen a reply yet. One here from Randy, I think this is. My wife and I are Canadian, and we've been living here for a couple of years, and we love it. We've never had any problems with the locals, and yes, we're learning Spanish, and locals have appreciated us trying. Have a good one. Yeah, also important, Randy, to aprender el español, as they say, to be able to speak with the locals. I was going to say falar, but that's Portuguese. To be able to hablar con los nativos, as they say. And it goes a long way if you are able to communicate, because if you get in a sticky situation, if you feel that you are getting abuse from somebody, you give it right back. If somebody calls you something, you call them a name back, and then on it goes from there. So always a good idea to learn the language, but also to be courteous and say good morning to people when you see them, like I do when I walk around these small towns and people stick their heads out the window to see who I am. Buenos dias. It goes down a lot better than saying good morning or bonjour or something like that, because people obviously don't speak foreign languages in a lot of these towns. So learn the local lingo. Another one here from Rob. I'm a UK resident. I just tried to move to Spain, but it's nearly impossible if you want to work too. If you know anything I don't, please get in touch. Unfortunately, Rob, I don't know anything that you know. I would agree that it is difficult to get a job, depending on what you want to do. If you think you're going to come down to Spain and get a job like you would in the UK, think again, because firstly, you probably don't have the language qualifications. And as somebody who replied to this comment said, the majority of employers here are always going to put a Spanish person first. That's the way it is, okay? There's you go to Spanish companies here, and rarely do you see a mix of people. If you on the street level in bars and restaurants, you do see multiculturalism. But go into one of the big Spanish companies and see how many non-Spanish natives are working in that company, and you won't find many. I can guarantee that almost. You won't find many. You might find some people from South America who have the language skills, of course, and have been here for a while and have established themselves, but you won't find many giddies working in companies here. That's just what I've seen over the years. That's what I've seen. Going into some of the biggest banks here in Spain, in some departments, in specialized departments where they're dealing in finance in English, yes, you will see foreigners, or in another language, maybe you'll see a German person or a Dutch person or something like that. But you won't see many other people. International bank, maybe. Banco Santander might have a policy where they promote people from other countries. You might find them in that. But go into the local Spanish bank. Another one here from David. Just going back to that one here, sorry. If anybody knows a way to get a job here in Spain, please let Rob know in the comment section below. One here from David. I live in Ibiza and have come across UK prejudice from the postman. There have been 5 or 6 letters, cards sent to me from the UK, but none of them have arrived. On one occasion, the postman was leaving our flats, and my partner, my wife, asked the postman if he had seen a letter, and he reached into his bag, and there it was. Yeah, David, I don't think this is prejudice because you're British and the postman has something in for you. I think it's probably just that he's a lazy postman and can't be bothered putting all of the letters where they're supposed to go. I think that would be the main reason. And let's be honest, lazy post people there are, or posties there are, everywhere you go. Around here, you don't get many letters nowadays, let's be honest. The majority of stuff that I get in my mailbox is junk mail. They seem to be fairly active, but the postie doesn't come too often. And I've told people in Australia just not to send anything anymore, because if it's something they consider of value, you have to pay to get it out of customs, so it's not worth it. But the letter aspect, David, I don't think that they're doing it deliberately. But then again, you might have peeved him off over the years. Don't know. And the final one here from Kevin. I enjoy a cigar on a restaurant terrace. If Spain bans that, I certainly will not be going there for my next vacation. Belgium and France are far better. There we go. Kevin won't be back if he can't puff on his cigar sitting outside at a bar or restaurant. Of course, there is talk about banning all smoking in these areas. I don't think it's been passed yet. It will depend on the autonomous communities and the central government coming to an agreement. But Spain is still a fairly active country, let's say, when it comes to smoking. You go to a bar and restaurant or to a party and you do see quite a lot of the guests or the people sitting outside smoking, so it is popular. There will be some backlash if it is banned, but people will adapt, and I'm sure that areas will be set up for smokers, maybe close by where they've got ashtrays, so they're not putting their cigarettes out on the ground. But yeah, I think, to be honest, Kevin, we won't see you back in Spain again, because I think smoking on restaurant terraces has its days numbered. That's just my opinion and what the government is pushing for. So, yeah, good luck in France and Belgium. Now, let's have a look at the comments in just a moment. Before I do, I have to change the backdrop photo. Here it is. This one was sent in from John, and it's down there in Almeria. Not sure exactly where in Almeria. He did tell me, but I can't remember. But a nice shot with the sun going down, I think. Nice sunlight on the mountains there. And if you've got a similar picture that you would like to see on the backdrop, the email address is this one here, spainspeaks@gmail.com. Or if you've got a piece of news that you would like to send through to me or bring to my attention, that is the email address too. So feel free to do that. And or anything Spain related, feel free. Now also to people that have supported the channel in recent times, whether it's by buying me a coffee, super thanks, or longer term supporters on Patreon, thank you very much for that. Channel members also, welcome to the channel membership option. Thank you very much for signing up for that. And the final thing I'll do is just put the like icon on the screen. If you haven't hit it yet, we're currently sitting at 50 likes. So hit the like icon if you can, just below the video. You will see it, and it will be great if we can get up. It would be great if we can get up to around 70, 80 likes today. So hit the like button, please. Now, into the chat section I'm going to go. Let me scroll up to the top here. First one that I can see from Pamela saying, good evening. Good evening, Pamela. Hope all is well where you are. Andrew coming in also from a cold London southeast. Valued member is Andrew. Hoping we are well. Thanks, Andrew, for that. Considering that it is the first live stream. Well, I did one on Sunday, but I didn't do one on Tuesday, of course. I was on the road, as they say. James is coming in with Kathy. Nice but sunny day in Worcester today. We are both looking forward to coming to Spain in 5 weeks, as we need some sun. There we go. James and Kathy back in Spain soon. Andrew, overcast, dry and warm in Amariña for the last day or so. Yeah, it has been warm in many parts of Spain, I think. We've had quite a warm spring so far, I will say. Sani coming in from Basingstoke, was in Valencia last week. Wants to go back already. There we go. Sani loves Valencia, obviously. Renan coming in from Los Angeles, California. Janet coming in from Oxford. Regular viewer is as well. Richard, what does that amount of water equate to? Not sure about that, but I think... Oh, here we go. We'll look at this one first. It was in the wrong order here. Good evening. Hope everyone is well. Coming in from Pizarra, Malaga. Weather is glorious. 33 on Tuesday. Cooled down to 25 now. We are allowed 200 litres of water per family per day. Yes, that is the restriction down there. In some places, as we have seen, shutting off the water altogether. Soto Grande was the name of the place that the press were talking about, complaining about. And as I said, it's an upscale resort down there in Cádiz, in the Campo de Gibraltar. I think San Roque is the municipality. And basically everybody there is on water restrictions too, but in Soto Grande, apparently from what I've read, they were using too much water. They were going over their restrictions, and that's why they were cut off. So whether it was because the golf courses were being watered or whether it was the swimming pools being filled, I've got no idea. But they were getting those water restrictions of something similar to what Richard's talking about here, 200 litres a day. Is it enough? Well, if you shower once a day, average shower, I think we worked out is 75, 80 litres, and the rest, you're probably not drinking much water, you're buying that. So, drinking, cooking, well, if you're drinking tap water, don't think so, which is what Janet asks here. Shower, drink, cook, yeah, that'd be it. Maybe water the garden, maybe not with 200 litres, so not sure. Janet coming in from Oxford, of course. Leonore coming in, not sure from where, but giving the thumbs up. Obviously hit the thumbs up button. Andrew saying no sound. No sound. I'm not sure if... Is that the case? There's no sound? Is that the case? My sound seems to be working here. Let me know. Janet has sound, so maybe Andrew has the sound problem. Just made me nervous there, Andrew, saying that there was no sound. I'm seeing sound here, so I think it should be working. We'll see if we get any more feedback. Fluttergirl has sound as well, so there we go. Miguel, just in time? Question mark. Yeah, well, I think so. Bronny coming in from Wales South, had to scrape ice off the car for the first thing this morning. Best wishes. Yeah, haven't seen ice on my car windshield or windscreen for a long time. But again, I'm not living in South Wales where it's probably more common. What else? Tracy saying, Hola, Tracy. BK, hello everyone. We are long-time catcher-uppers but have never joined the live stream due to different time differences until today. We are visiting Valencia from Canberra and loving it so far. Yeah, a bit different, I imagine, Canberra to Valencia, BK. Probably that Mediterranean lifestyle quite appealing, considering that Canberra, I imagine, is starting to get into its winter months. Obviously autumn, but Canberra, one of the colder cities in Australia. Nico, hi Stu and crowds, saludos. Nico from the Delta del Ebro, currently in Ethiopia because of work, not able to follow most live streams. Yeah, I haven't seen you for a while, Nico. Good to see you back. Miguel, so you must not be within Kui from it. Miguel obviously spending time in Australia, if he knows that expression. El Davido, nice to be able to watch the show from the start. Well, almost the start, says David, down there in Murcia, I think. And Drea coming in from Portugal. The same water problem, same problem about water, third world as well. Not my words. Have to be careful throwing that term around because people get upset if you get called a third world country. And Spain, clearly not a third world country, but it's got its issues with water, of course. And water management. Richard's saying, sorry, I just took that one off. Although our water isn't cut off at night, assuming they are policing usage by our meters. I think that's the idea, Richard, and if you go over the limits or if your urbanisation or wherever you are goes over that limit, they might cut you off. What else we got going on here? Laura's back here. Hi, guys. Back to VLC after a few weeks. My boyfriend is in the process of getting the digital nomad visa. Tomorrow night may be the day we get the final decision after he gave more documents than they asked for. All right, good luck with that, with the digital nomad. Let us know the experience and if it was an easy process or not. Hansi coming in, going on the Camino Frances, 800 Ks, starting in Biarritz next month. There we go. Good luck with that. 800 Ks is a fair bit. A fair bit. Barbara coming in from the Playa Flamenca. Back home, Barbara. Good to see. I just scratched my nose. Pleasant 20 degrees down there. Probably warmer before, right? Andrea says, how many Brits living in Spain? I think officially, Andrea, well, nowadays it's you have to be official living here from the UK. I think there's around 350,000, 350, maybe 400,000 scattered around Spain, predominantly on the coastal areas, Alicante, Valencian community, Murcia, Andalusia, the coastal areas mainly. Inland from the coast as well, but in the warmer parts of the country. But then again, from the community that we have here, there's British people all over Spain, of course. Madrid, quite a few. What else? Portugal is the opposite. All Portuguese want to speak English. Yeah, Portuguese people do speak English quite well. Also, the television, when you watch movies and things like that in Portugal, it's always on the traditional Portuguese channel, it's always in English. Series are in English. Movies are in English. That helps. Hasn't been the case here in Spain. Heidi coming in. Long time no see. Good to see you back, Heidi. What else we got going on here? Belinda's in the chat as well. Banning smokers, incidentally, also bans entitled tourists. What's not to like? There we go. David saying, great photo. Yeah, it is a good photo, this one. We've had some good photos recently. Makish saying, smokers are gross anyway. Yeah, well, you know, as many people have pointed out, Makish, it's not illegal to smoke. You can go to the cigarette store and buy your smokes or your cigars or your pipe tobacco or your vapes or whatever you want. And it's quite legal to smoke. There are just some places where it is not legal to smoke. But, you know, at home, in your car, I think you can still smoke, although that'll be banned soon, I imagine. Yeah, so it's not illegal, but, yeah, some people don't like the smell, of course. Marcus coming in with a super chat, €5. Thank you very much, Marcus. It's been more of a Canya day than a Tentico day here in Murcia. Anyway, here's something for whatever suits you where you are today. Thanks, Marcus. Probably beer. I'll take you up on a cold, frothy, as they say. What's this one? The Saluco Life, Southern California. Going to Mojaca in October for the first time. I'm very much looking forward to it. Yeah, you should like Mojaca. It's one of those white villages down there in Almeria. A very nice place. In October, should be okay. Also, the tourist season has finished. You won't get all of the services open probably, but it'll be a nice weather, of course. Connor, I'm a trained language teacher, speak 6 languages, lived and worked in South America for years, and teach Spanish online, personalized, €20 or 150 for a 10-hour course. What's this, free publicity, Connor? Free publicity? Yeah, so put my check in the mail, mate. Dave's in the chat as well. Hola, amigo, sliding in just under the wire today. Thanks for joining us, Dave, formerly of Madrid, of course, now in Florida. Rosa coming in from a beautiful sunny La Cala, from La Cala to Hertfordshire. Sunny but much cooler. Have sound. I think most people have sound. Philip coming in from a cold, overcast London. Cold and wet in Ballarat, says Alex, just around the corner. Also another cold part of Australia is Ballarat in country Victoria. What else? Herman. Won't mention his last name here. They not want the Brits there anymore. That's not very good grammar, Herman. The left-wing socialists are pushing that agenda over there. What agenda is that one, Herman? Let us know. Rory, coming in from Palma in Mallorca. I hope you're all well. Bit of rain there. Trying to stay in springtime for as long as possible. Absolutely. Spring a great time of the year. Unless you have allergies, right? Sound there in Menorca, says Denise. Thanks for that, Denise. We hope to move over there permanently, says BK, in a couple of years. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. I'm sure you will enjoy it, if that ever is the case, coming from Canberra. When you retire. I saw because you're an Aussie, I saw some type of documentary or a news article on the ABC of a woman who had moved to Jaén, I think it was, because she said she was priced out of Australia because her pension just doesn't allow her to do what she wants to do, or her superannuation, or whatever you want to call it, and living in Spain, a lot cheaper and a lot better quality of life, according to her. So I'm sure that lots more people will do that as well as Australia becomes more and more expensive, and the old superannuation doesn't go as far as they promised it would. St. Pete's, or Dave saying nice weather in Florida. Dubai has a problem with water. Well, I imagine it's a desert, right? What else we got going on here? Let's have a look. The Saluki Life saying dual citizenship with US and Germany, that will make it easy to get residency in Spain. Yeah, absolutely. If you come here with your German passport, you will be able to set up your residency here without any issues at all, because you are a European Union citizen, basically. US passport would be a bit more complicated. You'd have to get a specific visa. But yeah, Germans, no problem at all. Just come here, say that you are residing in the country, go to the local council, get your NIE number, and away you go. What else we got going on here? A lot of strange comments in the chat section today. Not sure what people are going on about here. All of these theories that people have, Laura saying the experience was bad. Got a lawyer from Vic thinking it would be easier, but didn't plan things well. Went the difficult route, asking for unnecessary documents. Better to get an expert from a Facebook group. Yeah, always complicated to get these visas sorted out here. Always complicated for whatever reason. Loran, I think that is, but forgive me if I haven't pronounced it correctly. It might be an Irish name. I always get there we go. I always get them wrong. I'm going to Tenerife for the first time tomorrow, planning on moving to Madrid once I'm registered on the Irish Foreign-Born Register, €278, and get my Irish passport. There we go. Irish, also an easy way to get into the European Union. Always an easy way to get into the European Union. James, I hate poison, the perfume. They make that illegal to use. Skip the New Yorks. I'm not sure what that is about. BK, yes, saw that ABC story. Yeah, it was interesting, I thought. Single woman. I think she was single. Don't quote me on that. Selling up and moving to the middle of Jaén. In one of the hottest parts of the country. Maybe where she is, it's a bit cooler in the mountains. Don't know. But interesting. And Bob, keep up with the news. Dubai has massive floods. There we go. Thanks for sorting us out, Bob, or sorting out the the people in the comment section. Now that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back again on Sunday with another live stream. More regular content out tomorrow, hopefully. It all depends if I can find something to put together. It's been a pleasure as always. Thanks for participating in the chat. Thanks for watching. See you hopefully, as I said, on Sunday. Hasta luego. Hasta entonces. Adios. Bye-bye.